Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel where we are slaying and not playing about our growth. Today we are going to be doing some makeup. And yes, baby, I got a lot of new makeup for Christmas. I will use some new things, but you know, can't nobody do you like good old faithful. So I still will be using a lot of my fave products. So stay tuned to see what we finna do.
Okay, let's get into these brows. So first, I'm going to take my NYX Control Freak Eyebrow Gel just so that I can move any hairs that might be in the way while I am trying to define exactly the shape of my eyebrows I want them to be. It's good to always have some eyebrow gel or eyebrow soap, those things that make your eyebrows lay flat so that you can form your line. Okay, now that I have my eyebrows laid flat, I'm going to go ahead and start lining it underneath the brow first. This was a little bit difficult, honey, doing it in the camera. And then I am just going to start shading it in, starting at the end first, working my way up to the front. Once I start getting to the front, I start making those lines a little bit more thin to give it more of a natural look, and also brushing the whole entire time while I am doing my eyebrows so I can kind of get an idea of the end look. Now I'm doing the next brow using the exact same technique, nothing special this time around. This one is my more difficult eyebrow, honey, because you know eyebrows are not twins. They are definitely related, but not twins. So I sped up the process on this one, but I still am doing the exact same thing, lining it, brushing it out as I go, making really fine lines when I am on the front. Now I am cleaning up the brows. I'm using my Plan & Makeup by Yolando base in shade H to do it. I am doing a pull away method just because this was my first time doing it in a camera and I didn't want to mess it up. Normally I can just follow the shape and make a straight line, but this time I wanted to do the pull away method just to make sure I didn't mess up the brows. I'm also going to go a little bit into the brows in the front to give it more of a natural look.
Each day, and this makes me sad.
Now it's time for the eyebrow mascara. This is optional. You don't really have to do it if you like the look that you already have. I like to do it because it gives it a little bit more depth, so it seems a little bit more darker. And it also just still brushes the hair in the direction that you want the hair to go, and it makes it just look a little bit more cleaner to me. So I always use eyebrow mascara at the end to make sure I like my brows. Okay, so now that I think that I'm done, I'm just kind of brushing them, and then you can get a better view of what's going on. On this side, the arch was a little bit thicker and not high, so I went ahead and grabbed that base again to make it thinner and lift it up to better match the other brow. Then I'm just going to buff out all of that base to blend in with my skin. And then I'm going to apply some more base to my eyelids so we can get started on the shadow. Yes, guys, so I am taking my Playing in Makeup by Yolanda Artistry Vault palette, going in with that yellow shade first. I am just tapping that in, starting from my outer crease, going into my inner. And then I'm going to do the other eye as well. I don't do like one eye first and then do the other eye after I completed one eye. I just feel like that process takes a little bit longer, so that's not something that I do. I'm gonna just keep going back and forth with the same shade, so then I don't have to keep doing different brushes. I feel like I get better results with two matching eyes when I just do what I just did on the other eye. now I am taking this orange shade. I'm going to tap it on top of that yellow so it blends very nicely together. So now I'm going back in with that yellow shade. Since that orange did kind of overpower that yellow a little bit, I just want to make sure that you still can see that yellow and make sure it blends in perfectly. So here I am just blending out that orange shade and that yellow shade together, making sure that it flows together and that the yellow is even and that the orange is even on both sides. So now I am taking this toffee looking shade so I can put that on top of the orange. I used a thinner eyeshadow brush just because I didn't want it to be too harsh or take up too much of that orange. But this is my first time using this brush. I didn't like it, but I tried to make it work. But look what I was doing. Look what I was doing. Do y'all see like those harsh lines, like not blending well at all? But I really did try to make it work because I really did want to use a thinner brush. But yeah, eventually I got tired of it and I grabbed Good Old Faithful. Yeah, sis, this ain't it. So I grabbed a better brush, start trying to blend out what I already had on there. So I kind of just tapped on it to pack it out to get rid of those harsh lines that I was doing. And then went ahead and just did the other eye, using the brush I should have used in the first place. Alright, so now it's time to cut the crease. I am using my Plan and Makeup by Yolanda brush in C10. It is the perfect brush for cutting a crease. I'm starting with my inner eyelid. And I'm also using just LA Girl concealer to do this. I was going to do the Vaseline method, but I decided to save that for another video. So I'm just using some concealer and cutting that crease. So, of course, on this eye, your girl done messed up. So, I'm just trying to fix it. It's just going to be a little bit higher than the other one. But I do have a solution for that, honey. If one of your creases get a little bit higher than the other one, you're just going to have to finish cutting the crease, right? Then go back in with that shade that's showing right above it and blend it back in. So, you're basically going back to your eyeshadow process. Now that I have those colors backpacked in, I am going to blend it out. Then I'm going to grab a very neutral shade and kind of just put it in the middle. I'm taking a gold type of color that shimmers to put in the corners. Alright, so now I am just blending out those shadows together, making sure they look flawless and that they are flowing together and they have the same type of vibrancy. Now it's time to clean up any excess shadow that has fallen off and also clean up the eyeshadow line. Now it's time to move on to the face. As you can see right here, I am just applying my primer all over. Then I'm going to take my Rose Water by Planet Makeup by Yolanda, spray a little bit on my brush, and then apply my foundation on the brush, and then tap that into the skin. Since for this look, I was going for a full beat, flawless type of full coverage look, I went ahead and applied a little bit more of foundation. So basically did 2 layers of foundation just to give me the desired look I was going for to, you know, catfish somebody. So now let's go deeper into catfishing them, honey, and let's conceal them. So I am using my Milk Makeup Concealer. I'm just going in making lines. I don't normally use the same method of applying the concealer. Sometimes I make dots, sometimes I make lines, sometimes I'm literally drawing. That doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is where the concealer goes, which is obviously under the eyes, on your forehead, and on your chin. Sometimes I will do it above the lips or on the corners of the lips, but I look really washed out when I do that, so that's definitely optional. Now I'm just going in blending that out. Now let's snatch that nose up real quick. I am using my Black Radiance Contour Palette in medium to deep. Going in using circular motions to contour that face. I am using the shade in the middle if you do have this palette, since I didn't show it. Ew, how ratchet. But I didn't show it. So I'm using the shade in the middle, which is a lighter shade, just to kind of warm up my face a little bit before I go in with that deeper color. Once you get to the forehead, you just kind of want to tap that on. Always make sure when you are brushing away that you are going back towards your hairline. By this time, I just needed to dance a little bit. Now I am going in with my Bare Minerals powder, and I am pressing that powder in. Guys, it's cold. It's the winter. I do not bake in the winter. That will make your skin extra dry. Well, it makes my skin extra dry. So once that powder is on my skin, press it in. Do you see the ghetto? That is definitely the ghetto. Now I'm just going in, wiping away any powder that might just be hanging around. Oh, look at me. I showed y'all this time. What? So I used that darker shade, and I am going in circular motions over that contour to give it more depth. back in with that powder to clean up that contour again. So basically, when I'm doing the super flawless look, I'm going to repeat steps to make sure that it's flawless. As long as you repeat this exactly the way that I did and you also have good products, I promise you the makeup won't look cakey. It all just depends on how you apply it in the shades that you use, especially when it comes down to contouring. You have to use that lighter shade first to kind of warm up your skin before you go in with that darker shade. So once you get to the bronzer, what you want to do is bring any color back to your face that you feel like you may have lost in the process of concealing and contouring. So I usually put that concealer under my jawbone and on top of the forehead lightly a little bit, because that's basically already been contoured, but I still want it to blend in with my cheekbones since I do apply some bronzer on my cheekbones. And then I'm going to go under my lip too, kind of that area above where we applied the concealer, so I bring color back so my chin doesn't look washed out. So now I'm going in with my NYX blush. I am grabbing like a deep type of pink shade, and I'm just going to tap that on my skin a little bit. With blush, I kind of like to build that out because I don't really honestly know what kind of blush look I want because I haven't used blush that much. So I just kind of like to tap that on lightly and then build it from there. I have learned that using two shades turns out way better when you use like a deeper shade. Definitely apply a little lighter shade on the top, which is what I did. I grabbed that light pink and kind of just tapped the very top of it. Now it's time to buff out that nose and blend it out. I start out with a deeper color first, and then I go into the center. Now I am going in with my Bare Minerals powder again, pressing it onto the creases and corners of my nose just to snatch that thing a little bit more, and also putting some of that powder in the middle where we set that concealer. Listen, making a wing on camera, just looking at it was a whole struggle. So I did do my best, my very best on this eye, which actually didn't come out bad. It was actually pretty perfect. But I did do that other eye off camera because I have to be in the mirror to do a wing. Looking at a camera that's just not it. Now it's time for the biggest catfish of it all, which is them lashes, baby. So I do not use my tweezers to lay the lash. I just go ahead and use my fingers, set that lash on top of my natural eyelashes, then go in with my tweezers to shape it and put the eyelashes where they should be. And then press it down to make sure that it is connected to my natural eyelashes. So now I'm taking my NYX Epic Wear eyeliner, putting that on that eyelid, getting ready to smoke out the eyes on the bottom. I'm going in with my Artistry Vault palette again. I am using that orange shade first, and then I'm going to go in with that yellow. Now let's glow. I'm taking my Juvia's Place highlighter, applying it above that blush. Also going to do the same thing on the other side and then apply it to the tip of my nose and then also on the top of my nose, leaving it a little bit empty, like in the middle of the nose, just because it gives it more of a natural, realistic look. Alright, so now I'm taking that same highlighter and just applying a little bit under the eyebrows. Then I'm using my Morphe Luminous Spray to set that look, honey, because it's looking good. That setting spray gave me exactly what I needed to top it off. It brought the moisture back, it locked that makeup in, and I couldn't be more pleased. Now I am taking my Anastasia lipstick and I am lining out the lips for me to do a nude lip. I did try to do like a deep purple look with this. I didn't like it, so I ended up wiping that off and I was just like, nude. Nude just, it gets the job done every time. Here I am using a lipstick lip gloss topper so I can get moisture back on my lips because y'all, like I said, it's cold here in Oklahoma, so I have to definitely do moisturizing lips. And I love me a good matte lip, but honey. Sometimes I can pull it off in the winter, but no. Now I'm just going to give myself even more of a glow, applying a little bit of that highlighter on the chin and then in the middle of the forehead area. And kind of going over any glow that may have calmed down too much from the setting spray.
Alright guys, so as this is the end of the look, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to definitely share a couple of my bloopers with you, especially because since this was my first time doing absolutely everything, just looking at a camera, there was many bloopers. Some of them I might not even share. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm coming. So please continue to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified when we slaying and not playing, because our 2021 is growth, baby, and we is on the way. We are a few days away. I'll be dropping a blog before this year closes out on autumnbraille.com. Make sure you go grab that quick little word going into your new year.